Okay. I always start out like everything I do or say, I always say, okay. So I'm just trying to open this up in another window, make sure that everything looks good and I can see when people talk to me. Cool. All right. So today there are a few choices here. Last week, I worked on this guy and I like him. Yes. Yes, I like him. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to do one of these. I just prepped these like less than an hour ago. This is just acrylic ink on a mixed media paper that I kind of washed on with water and I just like left it in the sun. And then this is just masking tape. Um, hopefully that, oh yeah, that lifts up really nice. Cool. So I wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure like what exactly is gonna be going on here. Um, where's my sketchbook? Okay. So, yeah, I'm just trying to decide because I had like a voting poll and it was a tie between those two. But you know what I kind of want to do is this one. This one's exciting to me. So I think that's what we're just going to do. But we'll keep this guy on standby because I don't know, I might need a break. So now, since I made that decision making process very vocal, I just have to sharpen my pencils that are gonna be I'm gonna be using with this one. And this is like this is one of the fun parts. I love to do this. I just like pick out colors that I think would go really well. So yeah, that's where we're at. Today is Tuesday. Um, it's Tuesday, June 30th. At the time of filming, it's like 4:30, I think. Almost 4:30. It is my day off, which is great. Okay, I need like a deeper red. Kind of like this though. One thing that I like to do is not just match the colors of ink that I use, which I'll show you those too. It sounded weird because I was leaning back. Okay. Yeah, so I used this primary magenta color. It is a Vallejo brand. And then I also have an Amsterdam ink. This one I just got at the art supply store. And I like this brand. It is kind of more expensive though. And I think that's all the comments I have for that. So the other brand I really like using is Liquitex, especially this color. I'm almost out of it. This is like my favorite art supply right now. It's just the perfect shade of red. It looks like blood. It's so cool. So, yeah. Anyways, oh, hi. Thank you. Yeah, I was just kind of yapping through my process. We weren't sure which one to do, but I really like that how this color scheme kind of came out. So I think that's what I want to do right now. But yeah, I haven't even started. I just laid down some ink less than an hour ago. And if you're watching this from the future, I'm sorry that it's going to be a little repetitive, but that's kind of the name of the game. Okay, this would be good. Yeah, I actually did a full-sized abstraction of a rose a couple years ago, and it came out so, I don't mean to, you know, toot my own horn or anything, but it came out really good, and it's one of my favorite things I've ever done, and I just sold it this year, and I kind of miss it. But anyways, I have prints of that on my site right now, but yeah, I feel like roses kind of, they're just like in my life a lot more than I realize. Um, I do work as a florist, so that's one of the reasons. And then like I just feel like they're kind of like the most classic flower, and they're just also such a interesting shape. You know, you can kind of find them everywhere you look if you choose to look. Sorry about the rustling sounds. I'm just finding some. Oh yes, this is the exact pencil I was looking for. Just looking for my colors. So one other thing that I like to do is I like to get some colored pencils that match the tone of the paper. And also just like this in between color where the ink is mixed. It's sort of like, I know that it's this color plus this color, but here, like if you just kind of like zoom into that, it's just kind of like a beige. There's like a warm tone beige, and then there's some like rosy pinks. So I'm gonna kind of carve some of those shapes out. That's one thing that I like to do with this. I'm also trying not to do a tutorial. I'm just making art. I kind of like my process, and it's not that I'm like gatekeeping per se, but like it's kind of nice when you don't have to explain everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, hey, that's okay. I call it abstract art too because I never went to art school, and I don't really have the vocabulary for like other ways to describe it yet. Other artists, when they cross my path, they are kind enough to like drop me some vernacular. But yeah, I just call it abstract. That's easy. And I feel like it's just kind of the most pedestrian way to describe it. Pedestrian in a neutral way, by the way. Because art isn't supposed to be pretentious and unapproachable. It's supposed to be just like an expression of what you need to express, you know? And so making it more complicated than that seems unnecessary to me at this time in my life. So, okay, I think we're good for that. And also, to answer your question about, oh shit, sorry, about working as a florist, it's good. It's not my dream job. I know it's somebody's dream job, which is why I feel guilty saying that sometimes. Um, yeah, it's like in terms of like a regular, a day job to have, I do like it. I've had a lot of different jobs in a lot of different industries, and this one I've been working at this job for like a year or so, almost a year. Since I moved back from Japan, I started. So, but it's good. I like the plants, I like the creativity. However, like it's still a little bit limiting, like there's certain um I guess certain styles I have to like do over and over again. And I think surprisingly, like my favorite part of the job has become the physical aspects of it. Like when I do have to do some heavy lifting or um moving or just stuff like that, I kind of enjoy it because it makes the day go by fast. I feel like I'm moving my body and kind of getting a workout in. The actual floral design part is pretty fun too. Just some days I'm just not really in the like right mood for it. And people can be really, really picky. And so you have to kind of get some thick skin pretty quickly. The other day, I made a corsage and a boutonniere for, I don't know, some lady's kids who were going to prom. This was back in like April or something. Um, and she was pretty vague over the phone. She said she wanted it to be pink and white, or mostly white with like a little bit of pink. And so I was like, okay, well, that's fine. We'll do a white rose with a tiny bit of pink." And then I did that, and then she came to pick it up, and she's like, "This is not what I wanted at all. This is way different. This is not gonna work. My daughter's gonna hate it." And I was like, okay. I'm really sorry. Is like, but there was like, what else? What can be done? You know, it's just like you described something over the phone to me, and I tried to translate that into real life, and the parameters are pretty narrow here. Like, how many ways can you tie a white rose onto a bracelet? Okay, surprisingly, a lot of different ways. Um, so in that regard, I'm not the best florist. But you know, it's still good. It's still good, and there are very kind people in the industry too, and kind customers, and yeah. So okay, now before we start, I'm wondering if I should like drop a design or something in here with like a regular pencil, but I don't really know if I see anything right now. So I might not. To be honest, I kind of liked this more when it was just the magenta and I didn't put down the green yet, which that's too bad. It's like a little too late. But okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, how is that centering? Is that okay? Also, it's just a little bit wobbly. I'm sorry. Oh, well, thank you. Um, I don't know. Like, I appreciate that. I guess I don't know what to say. Thank you. I think like one way I like to, I guess, tell stories is, I guess, a way that isn't just super, all about me. And I say that now, and I'm probably just gonna talk nonstop about myself for 2 hours. But um, I, I try really hard to like, I guess, talk in a way that, especially in a platform like this, like talk in a way that like opens things up for people to collaborate and participate because like it's kind of lonely to just be talking and just be like me and like blah 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 and like stuff like that. So I do like intentionally try to like um communicate that way like this. I don't think anyone's ever specifically said intriguing person, but that is a really kind thing to say and I appreciate that. But yeah, I like to do things and I'm trying to collect as many stories as I can before I die. Long story short. And I think trying to do that. It's a little bit difficult because like there's only 24 hours in a day and you have to pay bills and stuff. And I'm lucky. I don't have a ton of expenses because I choose to live with my family. And which I haven't always done. I've lived on my own a lot. I've lived abroad and living back home with my family, it's really allowing me to focus on art, which has been such a privilege. And yeah, shout out mom and dad. I love them so much. And they are really good to me. But someday I'd like to move out on my own again, I think. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of liking just kind of carving out these lighter spaces. I do realize like I'm kind of setting myself up to be copied a little bit, but that's okay. Like I'll evolve past this and and this is fun, so who cares? But yeah, let's see. I haven't really been doing art on a in a public way, I guess. And when I say public, I guess what I'm referring to is on social media in a way that is more like invitational for people to have an opinion or see me, or I guess the word I'm looking for is visible. I haven't really been doing art in a visible way for a very long time. It's been pretty private most of my life. I've had an Instagram account since I was like 13, and I would post my drawings on there with varied results. Um, I think the biggest moment that happened to me when I was young, um, to validate like my artistic abilities, was I would draw these portraits of band members that I really liked. And so I was really, really into emo music, and that means My Chemical Romance, right? So I drew Mikey Way. I drew like a really detailed portrait of him, which is such a fan girl thing to do. But then I tweeted it, and the I think he liked it. I can't remember if it was him or like his new. I think it was his band that he was in liked it. And I remember like eating lunch freshman year with my friends, and I was like smiling at my phone, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Guys, I drew this picture and a famous person saw it." And that was it's just like it was so exciting to me at the time. Since then I haven't really drawn any famous people because it's boring, and I feel like at this time in my life, it would be creepy if I did that. So, yeah, unless I was commissioned, which I won't be because I don't do portraits anymore. Okay, I really like this so far. And I know I said I wasn't crazy about the green, even though I just love this shade of green. I don't really like how it's like interacting with the red right now. I think I will learn to like it. Yeah. Okay. So this is my favorite fun fact. This is my favorite colored pencil right now. It is in the shade lime peel, and I like it so much that I put a little bit of washi tape on with bunnies on the end because it's so cute, and I just wanted to decorate it. And I don't know, I just love this color so much. Oh, seriously? How was that experience for you? That must have been kind of like a roller coaster, like being seen and then interacted with, and then like now there's no evidence of it. I don't know how that would make me feel. But yeah, I drew pictures of all my favorite band members, mostly Gerard Way, but all of the My Chemical Romance people. Um, I was also really into Green Day, so I drew Green Day a lot and stuff like that. These days, it's mostly just stuff like this, though. Fan art, though, that is a word I haven't heard in a long time. I've just been like so out of that realm. Um, yeah, so confusing. Oh shoot, yeah. I wonder if you were like I was like 13 or 14 when I was really into that kind of thing. And I feel like 13 and 14-year-olds are like, I mean, they're just a little bit um they just love so hard, you know? That's kind of the nice way to put it. But I feel like an engagement like that where you're like, oh, you're kind of like giving your whole heart to somebody you love on the internet, like, yeah, it's cringe or whatever, but it's so age appropriate, you know? Like we've all been there. And like it kind of oh man, that would really confuse me too. Be kind of painful, I think. Cause I feel like after even when like I didn't get any engagement or interactions or like I didn't think that I was seen again, it's still that still kind of like disappointed me a lot. So yeah, I don't know. Hey May, how are you? We're just talking about our past as being as fans, making fan art and things like that. Let me zoom out just a tiny bit. I'm so sorry for the shakiness. I'm gonna order a new tripod today. Um, yeah. I always say take your Dramamine before before you get in on a stream with me because I'm going to give you motion sickness. Okay, sip of water. So I grew up I was like a teenager, I think peak Tumblr era. So that was gosh, I don't know, 2013 to 2015-ish. That's what I would probably estimate. And unfortunately my parents didn't know about Tumblr, fortunately and unfortunately. But like, oh sorry, I'm off camera a little bit. You know what? I am going to put some tape down so I can remember to stay in. Cool. Okay, that should help me. But anyways, my parents didn't know what Tumblr was. And so they didn't know that they should ban me from it. And I was on there too much. I actually had a really good friend in high school who was she was like super pretty and her older sister was also super pretty and like much more into Tumblr. But anyway, she kind of became a Tumblr model. And she told me later like she definitely regrets, you know, being so online and she got not necessarily famous, but she got kind of a lot of attention at times. Um and she said it like really affected her mental health for the rest of high school and even into adulthood. And now she's, um, you know, she's a functioning adult now, and I think she's a really great person as well as a healthy person. But hearing those reflections is always interesting, you know, especially for those who of us who are like there, you know. And it's like when you compare notes, it's like, okay, yeah, it kind of messed you up too, not just me. Cool. Okay, I haven't looked at chat in a minute. Yeah. Oh, funny. Okay, I'm like wondering if my table is the thing that's moving. Yeah, okay. It's fine. It's just going to be one of those days, and that's fine. Next week will be better. But yeah, I feel like um I haven't been back on Tumblr for probably 9 years. Oh my god, and I'm so happy for that. It's a dark place. But maybe it's not anymore. I don't know. Um I can't really speak on that. This is cool right here. Okay, good. Thank you for your feedback. I just feel like every time I glance over, I'm like, oh my god, it's shaking. Has anyone seen wait, that's not the right shade. Has anyone seen Triangle of Sadness? This isn't like a recent movie, but it is recent-ish to me. I watched it like last month, and I haven't really gotten to talk about it with anybody. But anyways, the whole like moving kind of seasick thing that's happening is reminding me of a certain scene in that movie. Also, I love this color scheme not just because it's kind of like a complementary color scheme, but it's something that I would have loved when I was young, you know? Like in 6th grade, I probably would have had like a lime green and bright pink outfit or something. And so in that way, this is kind of fun for me. Oh, do you want to see the other one that I made though? This is my plan B. It is purple and there's like a little bit of sky blue light. Yeah, I like it. I don't like it as much as this one though. I was gonna do this turquoise. I think it's this one. Yeah, I was gonna use this turquoise today, but then I opened it up and it is completely empty and dry. Like anything that's in there is dry. And that was kind of surprising to me. Like imagine my surprise. I was like shaking it up and down over my paper. So I guess I just have to buy some more. Oh yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. It is interesting to hear about like Tumblr in like the 2020s, you know, like it's so I don't know, it just seems I'm not trying to act like I'm too cool for that, but like for me personally, like Tumblr and I are incompatible. So yeah, just like hearing these little things is interesting to me too. But yeah. So let me talk about Triangle of Sadness. It is like a satirical kind of class. It's like a class narrative on class. It's really interesting. I can't remember who directs it, but it's basically about all these rich people on a yacht. Some of them are Instagram models and some of them are like um basically heirs for various fortunes. Some of their, fortunes were taken or made in unethical ways. Woody Harrelson is the captain of the ship, and he's crazy. And anyways, they just kind of like go through some like trials and tribulations, and it's a really good film on. It's just like a good film on like class problems and struggles and like who really has the power and like in if like the tables were to turn, and like how important is this wealth when you step out of this like facade of overindulgence and excess into a real world situation where you need to take care of yourself and others and survive. So that's kind of me saying it in a really like broad way, just so I don't give anything away. But it's really entertaining. There's some really funny moments. But anyways, they're on a boat, and so there's one moment where like they're all trying to eat dinner, and the boat's just kind of rocking back and forth, and the entire time the camera's just like shifting, and then everyone slowly gets like seasick, and it's just like disgusting. Yeah, that's what is gonna happen to you guys. So just kidding. We're not on a boat. But anyways, yeah, it was really sad because the lead actress, she passed away pretty recent, like gosh, I think that movie came out in 2024 or something, but she died very soon after either it was filmed or released from like just like really sad circumstances. She had some sort of health conditions and they just were kind of um, inflamed one day and she passed away, and she was only like 30 or 32 or something. But yeah, that's a movie I've bonded with my film bro friends over. So, yeah. Okay, I need a lighter pink. I think this one will be better. Oh, I should have taken a before and after picture. Um, let me do that real quick. My favorite character in the movie? Hmm. I don't know if I have one. I think everyone is pretty special and they're also pretty unpleasant. So it's just one of those movies, it's like you don't necessarily like it's not super relatable. But maybe it is. It depends on, I guess, what you've done, where you've been. I do like it though. I think it has a good music soundtrack. But like the other movie that I saw this week. Sorry, I'm just taking a picture. All right, cool. Now I can continue. I saw Annie Hall for the first time ever. And I don't know, does anyone know Annie Hall? It's got Diane Keaton and Woody Allen, although he is his own conversation. Um, okay, I kind of like this. Ooh, yeah, I like this gray a lot. This is like French gray, which is like a warmer toned gray. But on here, it just looks white, and I really like it. I don't know if it's showing up at all. Anyways, Annie Hall. I read this book this last spring called um, Monsters, A Fan's Dilemma. That's what it was called. The author's name is Claire Dederer, and that's spelled wait, RER, I think. Dederer. Okay. I've like told a couple people about this book, so that's why it's just kind of like off the dome. But this was a really, really, really good book. And it's super, I think, socially relevant because how many of us have gotten to these situations where we like a movie, we like an artist, we like an actor, we like, I don't know, a musician, but then they turn out to be like these really like gray, morally gray people, think people who, or maybe they're not morally gray, maybe they're just straight up bad. And then you have to ask yourself, like, how much of this do I, still want to consume as an art? And like, am I allowed to even? Or like, I feel really guilty about this. And should I be, things like that, those types of questions. I think like Kanye West is like a really good example of this. Like, he's so um skilled and so creative in just like a master in the like hip hop industry, but like he's just been such a confusing person too. Like he's gone through like difficult things, and I'm not a Kanye expert and I don't even know like all of his discography, but sorry, just gotta lock in for a second. I don't know if I like that color, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Anyways, Kanye. He, like there's a lot of discourse about like whether or not you should be listening to Kanye's music anymore or like things like that. And that's just kind of like a broad example. But anyways, this whole book was about that conversation. Um and it was a really excellent book. And the reason why I bring up this book in relation to the movie Annie Hall is because Annie Hall was directed by Woody Allen, and Woody Allen stars in this movie as well. And if you don't know about Woody Allen, he's kind of like he makes good movies, but he's kind of a yucky person. Like to put it in white girl terms, like he's just a yucky person. Um, Go ahead and do a little well, maybe he's not. Maybe you should maybe you should look it up and kind of, develop your own take on that. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of certain things he's done. I think it's been really strange. Um Anyways, so but he made this movie Annie Hall, and it is so good, you know? It's just like one of those movies that scratches an itch. It's visually beautiful. The acting is flawless. It's funny at times. It's just like unlike anything you've ever seen. And you're still like, "Oh, but like am I allowed to like this because Woody Allen is like kind of an integral part of this?" So yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just like a good conversation about like as a fan, this is our dilemma and like what is our responsibility as responsible consumers and like what are we not on the hook for? And it just kind of, just kind of like investigating that. So I recommend that book if you've ever wondered about that. And it's just like confusing. And, art is human. It's only humans make art, right? And so art is going to be flawed because humans are flawed. And I feel like it is a mistake to put artists, musicians, actors, blah, blah, blah on pedestals. This is just my take. I did not mean to be preachy, but here we are. I haven't talked to anybody all day, so I guess I guess they're just building up. But I think it's a mistake to put artists and creators on pedestals because they're just people, and like just because they make something that you like doesn't mean that they are God adjacent. It just doesn't, no matter what. So athletes too. But anyways, sorry. Now I will check the chat. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, one of the things I love to do on stream is just like discuss movies and music and just kind of pop culture stuff, books and things like that. Not that I read a ton, but yeah, that's totally fine. I never want to like open up a conversation that is, exclusive in any way. If you know or if you don't know, like you should chime in or, participate as much as you'd like. That's how we learn. But yeah, Annie Hall is the name of the movie. It's I think it came out in 1979, 1977. Yeah. The costumes were so good too. I think I might make like an art piece inspired by Diane Keaton, not gonna lie, she's adorable. So rest in peace, Queen. Hi, thank you. I appreciate that. We're just getting started, so welcome. Yeah, I get that too. I feel like that is definitely part of the conversation. Is like because like giving um I guess listening to somebody who is problematic in your definition of problematic, of course, um is I guess like supporting them monetarily. And so that's something that you should take into consideration, and just maybe not necessarily consume mindlessly and just be a thoughtful consumer. Now, yeah, I don't really have a solid opinion on Kanye West. So this isn't something I'm going to talk about a lot. Um his like mark on the music industry though is undeniable. I will say that. Yeah, and there are plenty of artists out there who kind of like intentionally invoke positive change or positive messaging with alongside their work or within their work, which I think is really cool. And so if that's something you care about is like supporting artists that make art earnestly and care about like a greater good, I suppose, um, then that's like definitely one way you can consume in a more intentional and thoughtful way. At the end of the day, though, I think one not to spoil the book. I mean, it's a nonfiction book, so it's not really like there's not really a plot to be spoiled. However, I think one thing that I took away from this book was that whether or not I like interact with a piece of art um, doesn't necessarily make me a good or bad person. And so that responsibility, like, I guess removing myself from that was like it felt pretty good. I don't know if it's just me being like protective of myself and like in denial about it, but that's kind of I think that's like one of the takeaways. How that being said, I'm still not gonna like, I'm not gonna stream I'm not gonna stream R. Kelly or anything like that. So anyways. Yeah, Morrissey is a really good example. Yeah. I appreciate yeah, I like your take there. I think I feel like you have to be kind of a complicated person to make like the music that changes the world? Like I don't think like you can just be like a really well-adjusted, perfect person. Because well-adjusted, perfect people, they don't need to make art because they don't have anything on the inside that needs to go get onto to the outside? Like they're good. And so I think that's something we need to consider when we're presented with like music or art. It's like me soft launching my evilness by by saying this, but like um yeah. And that's like an interesting thing too. Like but like you can't really expect someone to be like a flawless, like shiny, clean, sanitized person and create like also really deep, interesting art. Like maybe sometimes, maybe, but like in general, like that just like it doesn't really work like that when you understand how people are. Yeah. So and again, I'm not an expert. I just like to think about this stuff. I am not I'm almost a therapist. I will be graduating in December and then I'll be a therapist. So like I have a little bit of insight on this stuff, mental health and like human psyche, whatnot. But again, not an expert. This is just kind of like what I've kind of gathered on my own. But obviously my opinion is not the only opinion. And it's also just because it's mine doesn't mean it's right? So okay, now I have to read the chat. Just a sec. Yeah. I don't know why exactly. Most praised creatives have popped up morally reprehensible things. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times that's just what happens. Like, well, one example of like kind of a contrary, well, not necessarily a contrary, but like when we look at Fiona Apple, for example, like she makes some like really illustrative, complicated, like beautiful, insightful art, and she hurts nobody, which is awesome. Um, like you can have one without the other, but like it's also not fair to hold people to like this very well, let me clarify. We hold people to like a moral standard. I don't think it's fair to crucify people because they're messy and complicated, you know? Like, you can choose to interact with them or not. I mean, people who commit crimes deserve to be punished for said crimes if the crimes were committed, and, I don't wanna go too deep into this because I feel like it's gonna get kind of crazy, but yeah, like, I don't know, I don't think that being a jerk is, necessarily warrant for, you know, being, I guess, stoned in the village square. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and, like, back off on that because I'm getting a little bit preachy, I think. But yeah, Fiona Apple. I haven't listened to all of her music, kind of just like a surface level understanding. But yeah, I think she's really cool. I'm liking this so far too. Yeah, exactly. I feel like people who make the art that I think people connect with the most are people who have something to say, have a story to tell, a feeling to convey, something like that. Um, and those things come from different sources, you know, like not everybody, I mean, you don't have to like survive a terrible trauma to create good art, but also like a lot of great artists have. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or what. So yeah. Oh, that's okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, that one I remember listening to it on a walk last summer or I think last spring. And I was like, this is great, but I'm not quite ready for it. Like that was actually my thought process. So it's still something I have to come back to. I was like, I'm like, I haven't gotten this software update in order to like fully appreciate this quite yet. So, yeah. Hi. Oh my gosh, I have so many friends here. Hi. Yeah, let's see. We're just kind of talking about like the morality of consuming art and especially when the art is made by a somewhat morally gray character. It's just really interesting. I just read this book called Hip Hop is History written by Questlove. And I loved it. So I recommend that. But Questlove, if you don't know, he's like one of the guys in the band The Roots, which is like a super cool like hip hop group that I think started in the 90s and they do kind of some like jazz elements, some like a little bit of like soul elements. But a lot of rap too. They all rap too. Anyways, he just like kind of like took us through I say us, just me. Like the last few decades of well, hip hop's really as a genre, it's only like 50 years old. So we kind of just went through that. And he had a lot of really insightful things to say about just like the culture and creativity in the industry and how it engages or how people in, you know, the average person engages with it is what I'm trying to say. And it was really good. It was super informative and I learned a lot and I recommend that. So Questlove. Hey, I mean, look at fashion. That's probably the most profit off of morality. You know, fashion, absolutely. That's something I've been super outspoken about for years is like ethically consuming in a fashion context, you know? I feel like a lot of people think that okay, this is a hot take. A lot of people think that like getting like vegan leather or stuff like that is more ethically responsible. And as a vegetarian, I think it's actually worse than getting real leather. And here's why. You can source real leather from secondhand sources. It already exists. And if you take care of it, it's going to last a very, very long time. And having one jacket that is made from real leather that's going to last for a very long time is ethically and like more sustainably more responsible than getting a plastic one that's going to disintegrate and just stay in the environment for thousands of years. Um, Second thing, all about fast fashion. We just stop buying fast fashion. I'm on my hands and knees begging, please stop. We do not like the thing like people have been tricked into thinking that like buying things is a hobby and it just isn't. Like go outside, please read a book, like practice your instruments, try making something, cook or whatever. But like buying stuff is not a hobby. Maybe like collecting things, but like you can't collect everything. And that's okay. That's my hot take. So let me know if I'm way out of line. Let me know. We could have an interesting discussion. But yeah. Yeah, thank you. I've been vegetarian for what year is it? 2026. 9 years, I guess. So, I stopped eating meat the summer of 2017. I was I was in high school back then. So, I did accidentally eat meat at least once since then. It was totally accidental and I did try to spit it out, but at that point I was like, "Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I'm not going to like I'm not going to freak out, So, have not been perfect. But yeah. Thrift stores, I am so here for thrift stores. It is so like okay, well, if you thrift a lot, you probably know the blight of the thrift stores, which is Shein. Because people think that like buying stuff is a hobby. And then they buy like cheap plastic clothes that suck and then they donate them. Like I don't need to be explaining this to you. You already know. But they donate them to the thrift store and then they pat themselves on the back. And then you go into the thrift store and you're like, I'm going to find a shirt that I can wear for the next 10 years. And all you find is Shein and it is like the worst. So, yeah. Charity shops is a that's what they call them in the UK, you said? That's cool. I follow this one YouTuber. Her name is Lena Norms. She's pretty cool, but she talks a lot about like sustainability and um how to do that in a way that doesn't cost all your money and time. So, yeah. So yeah, it all ties together like living sustainably, eating food that, doesn't cost an entire life to get to you. Um I don't want to ever shame anybody for like the way that they um go about life. It's just like fact of the matter is like not everybody can be vegetarian. Not everybody should be vegetarian and it's really none of my business whether what works for you and what doesn't. So I'm not really here to comment on that and yeah, I'm not really interested in making anybody feel bad either. So yeah, but then also just yeah, the way you shop, the things you buy or don't buy, like it all kind of adds up. And so yeah, these are just thoughts on like uh, well, what am I trying to say? A long time ago, I started considering like, what can I do to be like the best version of myself that I can be? And when I say the best version, I don't mean like the hottest version, the one with the six pack abs, like the one with the best skin. Like, sure, maybe someday like we'll focus on that. But what I mean is like the version of myself that will leave the net positive on the world when it is time for me to leave it. And things that like make me feel the least guilty for participating. And that's kind of a difficult it's been a difficult thing to do and to consider all the time is like just taking a moment before you reach for something or like buy something and just thinking like, okay, but what does this actually mean? Like if I'm assuming my actions actually have consequences and value, then um then I should like assume that what I have carries weight in this universe, and so that means I need to be intentional. And so I've been trying to do that and live that way for as long as I've been like able to, I guess, conscious enough and like also have had the resources. So like I've been working, I've had a job since I was 16, and so um like my money, the way I spend it and things is in support of that notion and things like that. Yeah. Okay. I need to like read the chat again. Nice. Yeah. It's so awesome when you actually can get, a good product in the thrift store. My favorite stuff is thrifted or given to me or something like that. Every now and then though, like I think it's worth investing in something that you absolutely love, even if it costs more, because the love is there, and you're going to take care of it and you're going to cherish it. And in that way, it's much more valuable. So it's just kind of up to you to decide what that is for you. But let's see. I'm also vegetarian just because I feel like becoming vegan without food. Yeah, I don't know a ton about that kind of thing, but like for me, like I'm not a vegan because like financially I can't really afford to be right now. I mean, I've eaten vegan, but like I'm also like anemic like crazy because I'm vegetarian. So cutting out more food groups at this point in my life would be kind of counterproductive. It would not be good for my health and um yeah, so I don't know a ton about vegan ins and outs because of that. But I do think you're right. I feel like there are some things that are just like there's really no point in like getting this vegan version. Okay, another hot take. For those of you who celebrate Christmas or don't, whatever. Christmas trees, it is way, way, way worse to buy a plastic Christmas tree than to cut down a real tree. And nobody is on the same page as me on this. Like a plastic Christmas tree, again, just like the plastic leather jacket, lives on this earth longer than you and I ever will. And like it's just going to be in the landfill depositing microplastics into the into the earth for centuries, if not millennia. Whereas like a regular Christmas tree, yeah, it takes a lot of water. Yeah, there's carbon emissions involved in like transporting it. Yeah, you're cutting down a live tree, but it can grow back. And like yes, it's not like the most ecologically sound industry, maybe not. Um but like if you're going to celebrate Christmas, either get a real tree or don't have a tree. That's my hot take. That's my hot take. So, um, yeah, go ahead and go ahead and roast me if you need to. But that's what I think. And that's what I tell my parents and they're like my mom, she's so sweet and she's just like, "Yeah, but I really like this one." And she has a plastic Christmas tree. I'm like, "Well, you already own it, so what's the point in me shaming you? Also, you're my mom and I love you." So that's kind of how that went. But hey, thank you. Oh, well, thanks for participating. I've had fun. Yeah, have a great day. Yeah, it feels like I feel like at times it is really easy to get overwhelmed and feel like what's the point, if everything is bad. And there's this phrase that people say is like there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. And that's a very pessimistic way to look at things. And in some ways, like maybe, however, I don't think that that's like, warrant to give up and just like not do anything. Um, but like I do think like living a more intentional way, cutting out things like palm oil and um just stuff like that is important. And if it makes you feel like you're supporting a better way of living and like leaving the world in better condition than you found it, I think that that's worth doing. And it's really hard to get over. It's really easy. Sorry, it's really easy to get overwhelmed with this stuff for sure. But we got to be there for each other, and we got to like keep our heads above water. We can do this. Like we can use our powers to vote and, enact policy changes that support these notions, and it's just can't give up. But bye, have a great day. I agree. I agree. I agree. Okay, yeah. Thank you for contributing. It's been fun. I was not expecting to go here today, but it's just kind of like fun that we did, I guess. So, okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Um, yeah. All right. It's already 5:23, which means I've been talking nonstop for almost an hour. So that's crazy. Okay. I'm liking this, but I think there are ways for me to like it more. I'm not entirely sure what those ways are yet. Hmm. You know, I think I'm going to take this tape off. I think that will help me visualize this better. Plus, it'll be kind of interesting to watch. A little bit stuck there. That's okay. Nice. Oh, yeah, that was tape. Yep, here. Do you need some? That would be cool though. I could like go back in and draw a bunch of bugs. Okay, this is not. Oh, sorry. I just like tricked a bunch of people. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just used some washi tape to kind of like map out where I wanted to draw because and also like I have a bad habit of just like going all the way to the edge. And I mean, there's not really a problem with that, but when you want to frame something, you end up covering up some of the art and I I don't know. I'm just trying not to do that anymore. So sorry for tricking you. I can draw bugs, but like um I'm not that's not really the objective right now. Let's see. So yeah, I think now I just want to kind of focus on darkening some of these contours. Maybe I'll use this. This is a really nice shade of red. It just has like a little bit of the magenta in it, but it like blends super well in with this shade. But yeah, let's see. I've never done one of these types of drawings on live before, or really like filmed it before. I used to do these types of pieces all the time. Like in 2023 and 2024, I kind of just sort of kicked it into high gear and was doing these almost every day. And I actually sold a lot of them recently, which was really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been so into the fine lines and graphite and monochromatic stuff lately. It's fun to come back to it though. It's fun to come back to it, and I feel like I've improved in some skills. So they're kind of coming out differently than they were before. But yeah, if you want to see my older stuff, I have a whole bunch of stuff in my portfolio on my website, which is linked in my bio. I mean, you kind of see what I'm talking about there, but I always kind of tell people I have like two sides of my personality that comes out in my art, and this is one of them. The other one's just kind of like more of the black and white fine line stuff. How do you do this when I draw? Just pen? I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to explain it very well. It's just very intuitive, you know? Like I've been drawing every day since I was a kid. Not necessarily in like a focused way and not necessarily working on something really like big and special. Sometimes it's just, you know, small things, but yeah, I just kind of developed my own pattern that I do, and it's not really compatible with words. And that's I'm not trying to gatekeep, but like I don't know, like there's some lines I just like to make and there's some shapes I just like to see. So I will say normally like I'm hunched over and like this far away from what I'm doing. Not because of my eyesight, but because I just like to get really in there. Thank you. I'm liking it too. This section here that I just did, I don't know why, but I'm liking that a lot. So I think after I'm done with this, I'll probably list it on my website. So yeah, if you're interested in picking this up, um, yeah, there will be a chance to do that eventually. I'll have to do some finishing touches and stuff and probably scan it, things like that. But yeah, that'd be good. I'm trying to go to Europe this summer. Well, this fall, I guess. So I'm trying to save up some money for that. Sort of a self-indulgent thing, but my sister lives there and she needs some help moving back home. So it'll be a good excuse to go over there too. But yeah, I want to hear some recommendations. I need some more music recs, show recs, book and movie recs. So if you've been into something the last week or so, I would love to hear about it. I think we'll do light pink actually. I am going to be going to Berlin for a little while and then possibly Spain. I have a really good friend who lives in Alicante. I probably mispronounced that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking I'll be most of the time. I guess yeah, if you have travel recommendations, since it sounds like you are from from Europe, so if you have any ideas or something, I'm always interested to hear that. Anime, well, to be honest, I'm kind of burned out on anime since I lived in Japan, but I still appreciate it, you know? I've got my favorites. But and I also just like to know what people like, just so I can have that, banked in my brain. So yeah, if you're into anime, I'd like to know what you're watching. One of my coworkers was telling me about this new show that she was watching. It was like sounded like there were some witches and wizards involved, which sounded kind of interesting. But Amin, Amine, am I okay? Maybe I can't read. Let me look that up. I like totally misread that. He is a prominent rapper, singer, and songwriter from Oregon. Oh, dude, I haven't even heard of this guy. I okay, I'm gonna from Portland, Oregon. Cool. That's not too far. I mean, it is, but it isn't. What do you recommend for? Is it Amine or Amin? Like, how do you say that? I would like to hear more about that from your point of view. Also, I got to zoom out just a little bit. Cool. Metal. I didn't do the accent. Oh, oh, that's okay. Classic miscommunication. Yeah, for psychology and mental health books. Well, I've got the DSM holding up my phone right now, so that's always a good one. Just kidding. You do not need the DSM. I would say there's one book. It's not necessarily specifically a psychology or mental health book. Um, well, two books actually, but they're more of like a self-reflective, self-help book. And the first one is called um, All About Love by Bell Hooks, and it's a bit like it's social commentary combined with some philosophy, combined with just like just good like feminist intellectualism. And Bell Hooks is one of the greatest writers ever, in my opinion. And so I really recommend everyone read that. The other one is called 100. Is it 100 essays that change the way that will change the way you think, or 101 essays? I can't quite remember. I'm gonna look it up. But anyways, 100 essays that will change the way you think by Brianna Weist, Wiest. I read that and it kind of just like unblocked this like anxiety that I was having. It didn't, it's not like it again, it doesn't like specifically focus on mental health or anything like that, but for me it was really good for my mental health. And it did change, like, not all of them changed the way I thought, but, like, a lot of them I really enjoyed, and it was really helpful to consider things from those angles that I hadn't before. So I recommend those. But if you're into just like plain mental health, um, and psychology stuff, um, trying to think. Well, Brene Brown is kind of like a huge name in the industry, and for a good reason. I think she's really she knows her stuff, and she like talks about pretty basic concepts in a really approachable and friendly way. So I recommend her. Yeah, and I will check out Amine. Okay, thank you so much for that recommendation. I will check it out totally. It sounds like it might be right up my alley too. Also, um, characters in the grasp of mental illness. Like, oh, are you thinking like fiction books? I don't read a ton of fiction these days, but I could probably dig deep and think of something. Let's see. Does anyone here like Deftones? Because they have this album that was recently leaked. It's called Eros, Eros, not Arrows. Eros maybe would be a better way to say it. Um, anyways, my friend who's brilliant and a software engineer, he got it somehow. He found it online, deep in the deep in the dark corners of the internet. He found it, and he sent me the Google Drive link to Eros. And so now I have this like secret Deftones album, and I'm kind of stoked about it. I've only listened to it once all the way through. And that was just with one earbud in. And so I didn't really, I was also working. I was trying to like do two things at once. And that doesn't always work. But yeah, it was kind of cool. I felt like I was doing something illegal, which low key might not have been far off. But yeah, that was exciting. So yeah, I kind of just want to talk about that with somebody. But oh yeah. So, oh, okay. Sounds like you are like interested in books where a character is struggling with some sort of like mental illness, or like a narrative that follows like a character with like ups and downs like that. Well, I don't know. I really liked Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I don't think I think it's a pretty popular book, but I feel like the people I talk about it to have mixed things to say. But Theo is the main character in that, and he goes through some like serious trauma and ups and downs. And I think the way that it ends, I don't think a lot of people like, but I don't know, I liked it. So, but that book's been out for a really long time too. I don't know. Um, yeah, other than that, I just like don't read non or I've just been reading nonfiction lately. And that's not because not I'm not trying to sound smart or anything, but, like, I feel like I've been supplementing my need for stories through movies, and so I've got this, like, kind of, opening for, like, nonfiction information stuff, and that's why I don't know, I enjoy getting that through books. Podcasts too. Yeah, this is kinda cool. Um, I don't feel like it has anything going on, like, it's not really like, "This is a picture of this," it's pretty random, but it's been fun to kind of build it up. Not a super strong focal point. Yeah, I guess working in the mental health industry, not that I do that right now, but, like, when school will start again, I'll start seeing clients again as a therapist, and, which will be good. But you get a lot of, like, that kinda thing in real life interactions. And so I'm not really hungry for, shocking stories after I'm working with real life people with real life problems. And so for that reason, I'm probably not the best source for interesting stuff like that. But I do think, like, gosh, like a good story, it really, like a page turning book. Is there really anything better than that though? You see seals and mermaids? Cool. Mermaids are cool. I actually, like, thought about mermaids today, so maybe I'm accidentally channeling that. So, gosh, the people in my neighborhood, I guess they're called my neighbors. It's kind of crappy of me. But anyways, the good people of my neighborhood, they love fireworks. And since it's almost the 4th of July, I don't think that they can resist like the fireworks stand, Like there's been fireworks almost every day for the last 3 or 4 days. Um, that's actually not that much when I say it out loud, but and it feels like a lot because my dogs are not fans of the noise, and so when they hear literally anything that's like not a usual sound at our house, they don't like bark and freak out, but they get really nervous and they want to like hide. And so sometimes they'll like just like they'll like get out of the yard and like look for places to hide. And so sometimes I'll find them in the front yard sometimes, and it's like, it's so sad. They're so scared. And then we just like let them in. But, anyways, I'm glad that there haven't been any fireworks on stream. I'm knocking on wood. But if there are, just, don't worry. Please don't hide. There's no need. You're safe. Seals and mermaids, though, that's kind of enticing. You know what I'm looking at right now that I like? This part right here. I think I'm going to repeat that a few places. this like sort of rib effect here. So I think we're gonna try that. Yeah. Gosh, back when I was I guess still in high school, middle school, high school, before I was like totally addicted to the internet, I would read all the time and I really, really, really miss those days. My mom would take me to the library and I'd get like the maximum amount of books and I would just grab ones that looked interesting. Um, and then I would just stay up all night reading almost all summer long and it was awesome. And these days it's like ah, work and stuff. I would just really miss that. But yeah. Aw, poor guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Visually, fireworks are very fun, but I don't know. They are kind of annoying if you're not like, sitting outside waiting for fireworks. If you're like going about your life, or if you're just like a poor little dog that doesn't know what's happening at all times, they can be very disruptive. I went to this fireworks festival last year though. It was called the Samita River Fireworks Festival, and it was in Taito City, Tokyo, and it was crazy. Like there were, I think, like over 1 million people like gathered in that part of the city to see the fireworks. It was so crowded, um, and the fireworks were like honestly breathtaking, like so exciting, so orchestrated. And just like the festivities, I couldn't even make it to like where everything was happening. I just kind of like stood on the sidewalk, like really far away, and I just sort of like looked and saw the fireworks through the buildings. But it was so cool, and I have some really good pictures from that time. But man, there were just so many people. It was completely overwhelming. I will say I'm pretty tall though, so I no matter where I was standing, I had a pretty good view because just people are just a little bit shorter in Japan. And so as a tall person, it's like, okay, like I can see. All right. Oh geez, that's crazy. Sounds really unsafe. That would ruin everything for me if I got a firework blown at me. A couple years ago, I was driving in my hometown and these like teenagers tried to throw a lit firecracker in my car. And it was genuinely like so scary. Like it could have been so bad. Like we had just like pulled up to a stoplight next to each other. And this kid, I don't think he was like, super like bad or anything. I just think he wasn't thinking. And he just like tried to throw and my window was like it wasn't unrolled all the way around, but like bounced off the window and like exploded on the ground. And I don't think it was like a big firecracker, but oh my god, that could have like really hurt me. I'm so thankful that that didn't happen. Yeah, and I didn't even like process it. I was just like, what? What was that? I don't know. And then later I was like, wait, it's the 4th of July. I heard an explosion. somebody threw something. Um, okay. That's crazy. It's really crazy out here. I have not used this chartreuse like at all. Actually, I think I have. I think I haven't used it because I think I forgot that I don't really like to use it. So, okay, should I put some green in this like little space here? Or I could do the blue, or I could leave it white. Let me think on that actually. I don't want to mess it up. Oh gosh, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, it's weird how sometimes that like the delayed understanding of how things were or could have been, it can be kind of crazy. It's really scary. But yeah, fireworks, dude. So I guess like for the USA, 4th of July is a little bit of a bigger deal this year because it's the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, which um, I'm not really in the mood to celebrate the US too much right now, but I think a lot of people will be. So I think it's going to be kind of a crazy weekend. And I'm not really sure how I feel about it. One of my really good friends, he was an EMT, and he just had like too many insane stories from just like daily life. I feel like fireworks and 4th of July and like summer holiday stories are just probably gonna be pretty crazy this time of year. So, do you still not see anything in the artwork? A seal in a sea of kelp? Let me line this up for everyone. That's okay. I still don't see anything, but I feel like maybe I just need to stop staring at it for 5 seconds and then maybe a different perspective will bring me something. Also, I spent $9 on this matcha and I think I don't like it. Everybody's Somebody sacrifices a hand to the founding fathers. Well, I think you're right. I don't know if they always see it that way, but it sort of ends up being that way, doesn't it? Also, I learned a very interesting fact this last one of these last couple weeks. Did you know that a high percentage of snake bites for women will be on their feet and ankles? But for men, most of the snake bites are on their hands and face. Um, isn't that interesting? I wonder why. I wonder why that is. I don't have a source. The source is my therapist, but like I don't know where she's told me that, but I trust her. She's a doctor. But selective bias. Survivorship bias now. Yeah. That could be. You could be completely right. Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I kind of believe it though. Maybe because I want to. Maybe because maybe it's me. I'm the biased one. Whatever. I did almost step on a snake a couple weeks ago though. Like I was on a run and there was something, so I live kind of in the country and there was something sort of in the like a little brush area because like where I run the path is kind of it's grassy and there's weeds and stuff and it's all very wild and rustic. But there's something and I almost stepped on it and then I paused and I was like, I think that was a snake, but I'm not sure. So I go back and sure enough, there's like a little snake coiled up in the spot that I had stepped right next to. Just in like a little bit of grassy like weeds, I think. Um, and I don't know what was wrong with me at this time, but I was like, I wonder what kind of snake it is. And so I like went and I nudged it with my foot, and then the snake started rattling, and it was a rattlesnake. And I I don't know. I was just like not impressed with my intelligence at that time. I was just like, okay, are we satisfied with this turnout? Like I don't we need to go. And I just started running away. So that's my snake story. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna dig around for a certain shade of blue in my colored pencil bag, so it's gonna get a little noisy. So just hang on for a second. I'm looking for a light cerulean blue. Here. I think this is it. Oh my god. I found it, but look how big it is. It's so small. Okay, this is my colored pencil bag and this is the needle in the hay and we found it so fast. Dang, I'm good. Okay, but it's so small. I don't know how effective this is going to be because it's really difficult to hold. Actually, everything's fine. I'm just being dramatic. Okay, has anyone seen Lazarus yet? I think it's playing at my theater tonight. Not my theater, but like the theater in my community. And um I kind of want to see it. I've heard some mixed things, but like not a lot. And I'm really interested in kind of checking it out. So if you've seen it, let me know. Oh god, that would be so crazy if like a huge snake just went over your feet. Ugh. I don't know. I like bugs and snakes and critters and stuff like that. I don't like them enough to lean over and pick them up, but I do kind of sometimes want to get a closer look. But I think like a snake crawling on me without me really realizing it might be a little too much. But that's crazy. My god. Let's see. Trying to think of more like music we could talk about because I haven't really kind of scratched my itch um, for the music conversation yet. Why is this shaking so much? I think it's my phone that's shaking. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Pause. Okay, that better? Yeah, immediately better. Okay, cool. Lazarus. I think it's a horror movie. I really like try not to look too much into movies when they come out because I love to go in completely blind and just be super confused. I think that's the best way to watch movies. No reviews, no trailers if you can help it, even like teasers. If I'm like shown a teaser when I'm waiting for another movie to start, then that's one thing, but yeah, if like I just kind of rely on word of mouth to like tell me what movies are going on or happening and or maybe if there's like an actor or actress that appeals to me, I'll take a special interest, but no, I don't know anything about it. I know there's like two guys in it and they get into some hijinks and it's possibly scary. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know, like after like Obsession and Backrooms and like the hype for those movies, I don't think anything has really risen to replace it yet. So yeah, no, I haven't really I'm not quite sure either. Let's see. Also, oh man, we're almost at 2 hours. I should probably stop soon. But maybe not. I don't know. I'm having fun. I'm just kind of hungry. Yeah, well, music. Let's talk about music. Steve Lacy, his album is new album. I don't know a lot about Steve Lacy, but he's got a new album coming out July 17th. And he's got two singles out already, and I really like one of them. I can't remember how the other one goes, but the second single he released, he had SZA on it, which is pretty cool. Let's see what other music is coming out. There's a few like smaller bands that I'm really into that are releasing music. And when I say really into, I mean like a normal amount into. I'm exaggerating for effect right now. But Chanel Beads, I talk a lot about Chanel Beads. They just released a new album, I think last week, and that's super good. So I definitely recommend that. But yeah, if anything is happening, anything new coming out, I always want to hear about it. I don't know why. It's just like so much fun to for me. Like I'm in such an exploratory mindset when it comes to new music and movies and stuff. So I always tune in. But I don't tune in enough to like like seek out podcasts or things like that. I don't know why podcasts about like new media, but it's just fun when you discover it on your own, I think. Oh my god, I went to the post office today. Chanel beads. Chanel bead. No, Chanel beads. Arrested Development reference. Beads. Steve Lacy is good. SZA is a, I agree. SZA is a cheat code as a feature. That being said, I do still vibe with it. I like her as an artist. I think she's got a cool sound. Yeah, I just kind of like her as a performer too. She was on a song called Boy in Red, and it was on Isaiah Rashad's new album that came out in May, I think. And that one's called It's Been Awful. And I listened to it a couple times when it came out and I was like, "Yeah, it's good." And then I found myself kinda going back to it a few times. And now I kinda just, I think I'm gonna buy it, like, I like it so much. So but she's on, one of his songs, and it's super good, but I agree. BandLab, I don't have BandLab, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down. Pink on Pink. Let's go. Oh, that other guy too. I mean, cool. Yeah, Steve Lacy's really good. I think he just has, some sort of just, a natural presence, just a natural magnetizing energy. And I feel like a lot of people can make really, really good music, but not a lot of people have that gift, and I think he has it. So I feel like that's why a lot of people like him. Also, he's just good. The pink on pink. Yeah, lots of pink. Yeah. So yeah, Deftones, that was the newest one I listened to. My friends finally got me, not finally. I meant to borrow the Death Grips album, The Money Store, and it took a while for my friend to find it, but he found it. So he got it to me and I got it downloaded. And so that feels like I completed a task that I've had in my mind for a really long time. So I'm pretty pleased with that. But anyways, he also has their first album, which is called Ex Military, and it's not on any streaming platforms. I think you can listen to it on YouTube. I haven't really searched for it. I guess I could easily do that, but I don't know. Anyways, he has it, I think, but it's like you could download it when it came out back in the day. I think oh gosh, I don't know, lots of years ago. You could download it, load it right off their website, and they removed it after a while. And then I think they have just he said, the reason why it's because they just have a bunch of samples that aren't cleared or whatever. Um, so, anyways, I'm excited to get that album because it'll feel like illegal too. So I'm excited. Oh, let me just take away the sticky note then. No, I know what you mean. It's okay. I've got thick skin. So even if you did mean the drawing, I would be like, okay, that's fine. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of glad we went with the colorful drawing route because when I get to a certain point in my art that actually has like a figure or a theme or something, in it, I kind of get a little procrastinating and I takes me forever to decide what to do to finish. And so, yeah, this is this is fun because I can avoid my problems a little longer. Bandcamp? Oh, Bandcamp. Well, I do have Bandcamp, but I'm logged out right now and I can't log back in. So I'm working on that. Did I? Oh, geez. Okay, sorry guys. I just haven't checked in. Oh my god. Okay. Everything's fine. You know what? It's all fine. I don't buy vinyls, but I do buy CDs. And I started this year, I started an official, I guess, intentional plan to collect more CDs. I used to collect vinyls. I had like, I don't know, not a lot, like 10, but I just my record player sucked and I just didn't really I didn't have the room or the money or like really the interest to get a new one. So I gave them to my like I kind of just gave them out to my friends or to my brother. Um yeah, and then but CDs like I don't know, I kind of have this like plan to eventually delete Spotify someday. I'm like kind of that's my drug of choice right now is Spotify. Because I know like it's not really that good for the artists and they're just like one of those greedy corporations and yada yada yada. But like so someday I want to like completely move off of it, off of streaming services. I just have to, get the gumption to do so. So anyways, all that to say, I've been collecting CDs slowly. Like every month I'll get one because that's kind of all that the budget allows right now. And so slowly I'm kind of building up kind of a library, and that's been pretty fun. Bandcamp, Band Lab. Would you rather play your band at the camp or in the lab? Yeah, it is. I agree. It's like, yes, it's convenient. It's kind of overwhelming, but like Spotify, I've literally had it since I was 13, and I have so much history with it. And so like for that reason it's really hard for me to like let it go, but I know it's just going to be an important thing to do because it doesn't align with my personal values to have it. Back to the preachy personal value discussion, but sorry, I need to find a shade of red now because I have an idea, but I don't have the right colored pencil. Um I don't think it's I don't think we're going to find it. Wait. Nope. Oh my god. Nope. Okay, well, I'll look for it later. Yeah. No, dude, I found the blue. See, here it is. I was looking for the shade of red. I found two of them, and they are the same, and they are crimson red. But I'm looking for Scarlet Lake, and I can't find it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Nope. Oh my god. I used to be really organized with my colored pencils. Honestly, like I would categorize them and not well, I had like a whole spreadsheet with every single color I had and like the amount of each pencil because I kind of just been collecting them over the years. And if you buy Prismacolors, like you can buy them in like kits, of like I don't know, it's like pack of 20. And then if you get repeats, they kind of add up. Anyways, when I was like 22, I ended up just like buying all of them. I spent like $300 and I bought all of them at once. That was a great decision. It was a financially reckless one, but it was a great decision creatively. And then anyways, I had a lot of repeats. So I had this like spreadsheet system, and then I like kept my duplicates in a separate bag, but then just like moving back and forth, and even just like moving day to day, like to my studio and back, or like needing to grab a couple. I don't know. They just got all messy, and my system's bad now because it doesn't exist. But Crimson Red, yeah, it is a redundant name. Yeah, well, honestly, like a lot of my art supplies are just like accumulations of things over the years, but like kind of just like takes a long time to figure out what you like, you know? So I don't know. Some of this stuff has been with me for a long time. Like I have this I showed it in the last stream. I have this white colored pencil that I got rubber cement all over the side. And I tried to like peel it off and it wouldn't come off, and I tried to sharpen it and it started like cracking the whole pencil, and it was kind of ruining everything, and so I started sharpening from the side. My dog is outside my window right now. So we will be hearing from her. But yeah. Yeah, that's my dog. Um I think I should probably let her in. She's so whiny. Um yeah, pause for a second. I'll be right back. Why don't you take a break real quick? Okay. Thank you for thank you for your patience. She is she's just a little baby. She's anxious. So, and the fireworks. We already talked about the fireworks. So, and I know she just would like stand there and keep whining. So I had to let her in. She's so smart though, like for like she'll come to the window and she'll ask me directly. But oh, hey Nate. I was hoping to see you. Thank you. Yeah, it's just kind of we're just kind of I don't know. Yeah, I didn't actually see the final poll for the for what we were gonna do, you know? Like I saw that it was like tied last time I looked, which was like 5 minutes before I started like prepping for this stream. It was still tied. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna do this then. So it could be different now. I don't know. It's kind of fun though. A lot of times it's just like I don't know what to do, so it's fun to have some help in deciding. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I post like every time I make a post on here on YouTube, I like to include a picture of either one of my dogs or both of my dogs. Because like they're just so cute. I don't know. I'm not the another controversial thing about me is I'm not a huge okay, don't freak out. I'm not a huge dog person. But I like my dogs, and that's kind of that, you know? So I like to share them. I don't know, they're so cute, especially Bailey. She's more of my dog. Pippa is our other dog. She's a sweetheart. She's so sweet, and she's a little bit older, and she's more of my brother's dog. Um, but so me and Bailey are kind of tight. She was my sister's dog, and then my sister moved to Germany, so now she's kind of mine. But everyone kind of pitches in, and we all love them. So, and it's not just because I'm a hater, okay? Like I'm a cat person. That's the missing piece of information here. Oh yeah, I kind of have an area. This is literally a card table that I inherited from my grandpa, um, in my bedroom in my parents' house. So yeah, it's a real studio. I do have an actual studio, but I don't have natural light in it. And so being in there when there's like sunshine outside is kind of depressing to me. So it was really nice in the winter and in the cold months, but like in the summer, I don't know, I haven't really spent a lot of time there. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. Oh, do you want to say something I'm going to do next? I got like a whole bunch of these old letters from they were written by just like different people to my great grandparents. And my mom went in and like digitized everything, and this like leftover stuff is stuff that wasn't claimed by any of my second cousins or anything. Um and there's like a lot of precious documents that we have like claimed and taken care of, but there's a lot of extra stuff that just was like sitting there, and it was going to get thrown away, and I got to take it. So I'm going to do some art with it. I'm going to probably I don't know if I'm going to do collaging or like paint over it or draw over it or something, but yeah, I'm excited for that. But yeah, weird guy is still here. I don't know. Maybe I'll work on this later this week. It's just kind of like intimidating to me to finish a drawing sometimes. So that's where we're at. Procrastination. But yeah, the splotches. Yeah, they do. I used this ink. It is a Vallejo brand. It's just acrylic ink in primary magenta. And when you don't spread it out with water, it gets super deep like that. And it's a little bit harder to draw on when it's super saturated, but I kind of like the intensity. Here, just I kind of move it around a lot, um, so it gets off center pretty easily. Give him a hat. That was definitely said before. I don't know. Was it one of you guys that said the hat thing? Or is that just kind of like something that is just a popular opinion? Okay, now I think we're gonna just do like a bunch of contour lines. Oh my god, or you could just go to bed. It's okay. Don't stay up for my on my account. Like, thank you for being here. That's really awesome. But you should also sleep. Sleeping is like the healthiest thing you can do. So, actually, a psychiatrist did tell me that. Not my psychiatrist. I don't have one, but he was a psychiatrist. He was on my trivia team. literally forgot about my trivia team until just now. We were really good. We got first place all the time. Dang, now I kind of miss trivia. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add a little bit more to this one. Probably call it a day, and then I think I'm gonna add it to my shop right away because yeah, it was fun, and I'm trying to, I guess, give people more chances to get art if they want. Um, Be good. The thing is, the thing that I do that's like something I need to stop doing is I just kind of make stuff and then I don't um get it to a state where people can actually purchase it, or I don't even like, I don't know, I don't advertise it or like share it in that way. I think I could probably reach a lot more people if I did, but I don't know. I just get kind of overwhelmed and I get excited to start something new. So that's something I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about. The weirdest trivia I know? Well, let me think about that. I don't know. It's a little bit of a broad question, isn't it? Maybe if you narrowed it down a little bit, I could help you. It's not that I'm great at trivia. Um, Again, I'm not I, okay, not trying to like toot my own horn, but like I was the person, like we had a guy for sports and we had a guy for science. That was the psychiatrist. And then we had a guy for music and I was that guy. So I was, round 2 was all me, and we always did super well because they'd be like, "Who's singing this song?" Or like, "Guess the artist and the song," and I'd get all of them because they would pick kind of like, they wouldn't really pick deep cuts of anything. And so it was just kind of easy in that way, but yeah, trivia's tomorrow, so maybe I'll try to go to that. I kind of miss it. I could use a win too. If you win, you get like a $15 gift card, and so next time you go, like all your drinks were free. Well, 3 of them, but anyways. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was like, it was good. It was just like a little bit of an older crowd. And so like outside of trivia, there wasn't a ton to talk about because these guys that I was with, they were like kind of just like in a different phase of life than me. Like I just work part-time and my job isn't like a job I went to college for. It's, and so, and they're all like healthcare professionals and like engineers and stuff. And so I feel like sometimes when you're with people in that realm where like their career is kind of like the center spoke of their wheel, they don't really know what to talk about, you know? And this isn't me like overgeneralizing people, but this is me overgeneralizing my trivia teammates. They didn't really know what to talk about. And my go-tos, like as you know, my go-tos are like movies, music, books, like stuff like that, current events. And I don't know, it was always just like, I've just been working. I've just been working. I have so much PTO, but I can't use it because no one can cover me. Like that's something I heard all the time. I still do. And I'm like, guys, you know, you're going to die someday and you're going to die with PTO and you need to not do that. You need to use your PTO. Like I mean, it's great that we have such dedicated people in the workforce, but like please, I'm begging you to have fun. while you still can. Ugh, shout out trivia team. We were the big dogs. That was our trivia name. And I don't like that name, but one of the guys had like a huge dog. And so that was our name. Spreadsheets? Trivia on spreadsheets? Hmm, I don't know. I'm pretty bad at spreadsheets, as you heard already. Oh, yeah, okay. Now I'm caught up. Thank you. You're so right. I should be like, have you guys gotten the new Microsoft Excel update? Like that new font style. It goes so hard. And they'd be like, "Oh my god, I've been waiting to talk about this with someone." No, you know what? The conversation I remember I had with them, maybe this is why I stopped going to trivia because like it was just kind of dry. Someone was like, we were talking about the next town over, and they were like, "Dude, the Costco there is always so busy." And I think I just like stared at him and I was like, what? That's so cool. I don't, I don't know. Like at that moment I was like, I should probably get out of here. Like I should go on a walk or something. But they're like really nice people. I'm not trying to like dog on them or anything. I just was like, wow, we're kind of different. You ever have those moments where you're like, maybe I don't belong here. And maybe that's okay. Space trivia. Dude, I don't know anything about space. No, I don't know anything about space. See, I'm only useful for music. I just, I'm so, I'm so one dimensional. Just kidding. Yeah, it is. And I think it's enriching in other ways too. And I think um they were, they're fun in certain ways. And also it's like cool to be around people that are like so driven in those ways too. Like as you might have gathered, I'm not super career oriented in the traditional way, you know, which is fine. I used to be, and then yeah, it's just then I turned 23, so but it's still cool though. Like I appreciate that. And I'm trying to convince one of my friends to go on a hike with us tomorrow. We're doing like a just like a 10-mile hike. And he's an engineer and I was like, "Don't you have PTO that you can use?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have so many. It's going to expire or it's going to like, I'm going to hit the max or whatever." And I was like, "Perfect. You can use your PTO and take a day off tomorrow." And he's like, and he kind of like he didn't react badly, but he reacted in kind of like a more panicked way than I expected him to. He's like, "What? No, I can't. I won't be able to find anyone to cover for me. And like, I don't want anyone to be stressed out." And like, and I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm pretty selfish in this moment." But also, I'm like, what if everything was okay though? And what if you enjoyed your Wednesday with me and your other two close friends? And what if we had a great time outside making memories? I don't know. This is just a suggestion. But also like I understand like it's very responsible for him to be considering other people and in that like decision making process. And I think that's where I need to probably check my blind spots a little more. It's like, okay, not everything can be about, carpe diem, even though, like, low key it can, but also, like, I don't know. I get it. I get it. Oh, Venus flytrap vibes. Oh my god. Wait, I love that. That's so cool. Okay, thank you for saying that. I love Venus flytraps too. Space is called space because it's space and things in it are spaced out. I'm adding that fact to my repertoire immediately. I didn't know that. Yeah, becoming important at work. God, I have maintained a distance in every job that I've ever had so that I don't become important at work. And I think that's like subconscious yet intentional, because of that, all of the reasons that I just said. Because I need to be able to like escape if and when I need to. Ooh, so yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that, Nate. And like I feel the same way. I don't know, I feel sad because it's like I think then in that way, like the corporation is winning in, making you feel responsible for those types of things when really they should be able to get someone like you shouldn't be like there should be at least one other person who can help you. Um, so you can step away. Like they should never have that amount of responsibility on one person. Cause in that way, that's like not healthy and that's irresponsible. And like what if that one person absolutely has to step away or, God forbid, go to the hospital or something like that. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, come on. I'm going to play the part of devil on shoulder and I am going to manipulate you into coming to a beautiful hike with me and like making memories for the summertime. Like how much I don't know. How much younger are we getting here? And that's my toxic trait. It's like abandon work. Abandon work as much as you can. But also like when people like pass away, that's what they say. They say I wish I worked less. So I don't know. Yeah, I honestly I don't have any close friends who are artists in the same way that I am. I have like my brother is really musical. And so we'll make music together and stuff. He's super good. He's super skilled. My sister is like into writing and literature, and so that's kind of where her creativity comes from. None of my friends do visual art though. I was kind of on my own the whole time actually. That's like I've never really thought about this before. Yeah, wow. Even when I did like start like college and I took art classes as electives because I had to take electives and I already knew I loved art. So I don't know, I just didn't really make friends in college because I was working full time. That's the problem. This is where my bias comes from, by the way. It comes from experience. Like I was working full time. I was paying my college tuition. And so I didn't really have time for friends. And I wasn't in the art major. So yeah, I didn't start making artistic friends until I started like, I guess, posting on the internet. And I don't really know any of them. And yeah, that's gonna have to unpack that later. So, well, my brother, he's awesome. I'm trying to get him to um makes so he does a lot of really cool music with like synthesizers and effects and modular synths and stuff like that. He's a really skilled piano player and keyboardist, and he doesn't really record anything, but he loves um prog rock and stuff from like psychedelic stuff from the 70s and stuff. And so he like learns all these songs and kind of perfects them. And so I'm trying to get him to like agree to like make some music for me so that I can put it over like a long drawing video or something. And I think he's open to it, but I think it's just kind of like a difficult process to start. So that's a long story short, but yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Nate. Like I don't know, I didn't realize how lonely it was, you know? Like I guess like the person I was dating at the time, like I'd kind of like talk about stuff with them and but they never like got it, you know? So I don't know. But now it feels like I don't know, it feels like what have I been doing, you know? Or like where has this energy been going? Have I really just been like too busy to put time and energy into this? And if so, how can I ensure that it never happens again? Cuz like when I started like actually allowing myself to make art as often as I wanted to and in ways that I wanted to without like judging myself for it not being good enough or not looking like anything. Like I started making so much art and I started getting so much better and achieving things that like I wanted to achieve. And it just like happened like so fast. And like I'm still like kind of on that massive productivity boost, you know, like I'm still kind of riding that. And it's been kind of crazy. And I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. I spend probably 3 to 4 hours making art every day, which is so cool, but also still doesn't feel like enough. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bribe him. Like, I told him, like, when I first started YouTube, I was like, okay, I need 100 subscribers until I can live stream. And then when I live stream, because like in my head, I wasn't gonna talk at all. I was just gonna like draw silently because I'm kind of, I don't know. I just was like, that was kind of like the most approachable idea that I had at the time. I was like, okay, so when I get 100 subscribers, I need you to help me make music. And he's like, okay. And then like a week later, I had at least that many. It happened kind of fast. It's because like I posted something early on that got kind of a lot of views. And yeah, so that was super lucky. And then since then I think he's just been kind of like shy about it. Not out of any particular reason, I think. I think it's just like there's an equipment component that he doesn't have. So I might have to like pitch in and help buy that or something. But yeah, I love music too. That's like my second thing. I cheat on art with music all the time. Like making music, not just talking about it nonstop to people on the internet, but like um yeah. um yeah, I would love, absolutely love to record music someday. That's one of my dreams for sure. I will bribe him with some snacks, perhaps a smoked cheese board, including some smoked gouda. Hi, I'm glad you could make it. That's okay. I'm going way longer than I thought I had the stamina to, but like now I'm just having fun, so I'm just gonna keep going until I'm done, I think. So yeah, you are right on time. Yeah. I agree, Nate. Like, it feels so obvious now that I'm here and I'm, like, dedicating time for art, and I'm putting myself out there, and I'm, experiencing, like, highs and lows and whatever, but, like, it feels so much more satisfying than what I was doing, which was working, at a nonprofit, and then I was, teaching English, and yeah, nah, I just can't. I am just simply not built for 40 hours of mundane work a week. I can work 40 hours if this is what work looks like, you know? Or I can split it up, but like I can't be at the same place. I can't be sitting at a desk, staring at a computer, waiting for emails to come in for 40 hours a week. It's just like makes me feel awful, so bad. So even like the fight and the struggle and like the failures and like the days where like I post something and like nobody sees it and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Like it still feels better than like good days at jobs that literally sucked the life out of me. So, yeah. And one thing I've learned this far is that I actually don't need a ton of money to get by at this time in my life. Now, this is like a disclaimer privilege. I live with my family and that helps a lot. But also, I just quit spending money. I only buy food. I don't buy stuff like food and gas. I own my car. I saved up and bought my own car, no car payments or anything like that. So like just like simplifying things and realizing like, okay, I don't need as much clothes as I thought. I don't need as much like, you know, products, or I don't need to go out to eat. Like just things like that. It really, really, really helps. So, oh, thank you. Yeah. This is kind of how I operate. And I think it's fun because like a lot of people are always like, well, which way's up and which way's down? And there really never is an up or a down. Sometimes there is, but usually there's not. The type of music I would create, um, oh my God. Yeah, I don't even know. Like I play piano, so I try to practice every day. I don't play songs that already exist, Like I can read music, but I don't really like to. So I just kind of improvise and I just kind of do my own thing. And it's nothing, super good, but I am kind of embarking on this journey of like, what would it look like to make music as my hobby instead of drawing pictures as my hobby? Like, this could be, if this could be my job, then music could be my hobby. And that would be a dream that actually like brings me so much joy. Like, I might cry. So, yeah, I don't know. I love like the synth sounds though. And the reason why I haven't got into that is because my brother does it and um I've been kind of busy and so I don't really feel like learning a new thing, but like I really want to just like join forces and make stuff. And I'm not a singer, but like not very many people are and they still sing and I think they sound great. So, yeah. Orchid mantis. That's a cool visual too. Everyone's got like really good ideas today. Yeah, this is kind of coming together. I'm liking it a lot more. Oh my god, I do have like kind of a fun announcement though that I'll share. I have been applying for artist residencies for like 2 straight years and I've gotten nothing but rejections the whole time. And sometimes they come back immediately and it just, like, hurts kind of bad. It's like they took one look at me and they're like, "No, absolutely not." But anyways, I've been fortified against rejections. No, that's not true. I've been getting better though. I can handle it a lot better. But anyways, I got one that wasn't a rejection and I'm so excited. I get to go to New York for a couple weeks and they're going to feed me and house me and give me money so that I can make art. And that is like the most exciting thing that's happened to me in a really long time. And so, yeah, I'm just like sitting here smiling. It's like it's just going to be so much fun. I'm so excited to meet other artists and to like go back to something you said earlier, Nate, like talking to other artists and like not being alone in that space has been like a very, very fulfilling part in all of this. And where I live, I think I need to move because like I love my hometown. Um, but there's not a big art community here. There kind of is. Like it's small, but it's pretty strong. But like I've kind of met everybody and everyone's like a Western artist, you know? Because that's where we're in Montana. Everyone's a Western artist. Everyone makes cowboy stuff. And so do I. Just kidding. But so it's kind of lonely as someone who sort of makes weird stuff. I don't know. But anyways, I think I need to move. And if New York is the vibe, then New York is the vibe. But yeah, thank you. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you. It's gonna feel I don't know. It's just gonna be I really needed to win. It came in at the right time. I was literally at work, slow day, and I was like kind of hating my life. My manager was right there. Oh my god, it was just the mundanity of this job sometimes. And then she was just like talking about something. She talks a lot about her like diet restrictions, which is one of my favorite things to talk about for legal reasons because she's my boss. But anyways, I checked my phone and like I got this like email and I was like, oh, okay, another rejection. That's fine. I can like, I guess I can cross that off the list or something. And it wasn't. And I like freaked out. It felt so good. It feels so good to freak out sometimes. But yeah, just like getting a little win like that, it's so energizing. You know, it's like when you're like unemployed and you're applying for jobs or you're looking for a new job and like all you get is like you hit walls and people don't respond to you and you just like get rejection. You're like, I just need one acceptance, you know? I just need one. And it's like it's so much harder than you think it should be. Yeah. If anybody has experience with artist residencies or advice or anything like that, I would love to hear it because I'm, again, like I feel kind of alone in a lot of this. And I think collaboration is our strongest superpower. So, yeah. See, my manager, she's like really nice and we do get along, but like she the only thing she wants to talk about or like she gets excited to talk about is like gluten or erythritol, you know, just like I'm just like I can't keep doing this. I can't keep having this conversation. It's so boring. But, you know, here's like again, as a therapist, which I'm not licensed, but I kind of have a lot of experience being people's therapists. I just turn on my therapist hat and I'm like, "Oh, that's so interesting. Wow. Wow. Hmm. I hear you. I hear you." Like I'm just like active listening and I'm such a liar sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't really know anybody who's done an artist residency. I guess I've met one person who says she okay, I don't understand. She's doing a residency, but she's doing it virtual, which to me, I don't know how that works because like isn't the word residency means like you stay there, you live there? I don't know. So I didn't really like also we didn't know each other very well. I didn't really ask her, but yeah, I don't know. I would love to I guess I'll get to the bottom of it and I'll let you know. So, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited. It'll be good. I'll darken this. I really like this part right here. It looks all like gross and like membraney. I love it when that happens. I say as if I have no control over what I make, but you know. Dive bombed by a swallow. Whoa, that's crazy. How close was it? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. It's so humbling to just like be sending off these like random proposals and applications and you're just like I hope somebody sees value in the thing that I've put countless hours into over the course of my life. I really hope so. It's so vulnerable. But it's definitely toughening me up. So I will acknowledge that. But I really appreciate that. And I hope something like a really good opportunity like that comes your way too cuz you definitely deserve it. I would love to see um like a fully fledged project of yours, like a whole movie or something. I think that would be incredible. Unless you don't want to do that, then whatever. I think that would be cool. Like I was telling my brother today that I think a life goal of mine is to be involved in making a movie of some kind. Not necessarily any part in particular, but I just think like being part of the process would be super cool. Oh my god. A swallow went and got you. That's crazy. They're such cool birds. They have like nesting. So my hometown has like these really crazy like cliffs around it that are made out of sandstone and the swallows like to nest in the cliff sides and sometimes and so they'll like build their little nests and they look so weird and it's crazy that birds just do crazy things. Birds are crazy. So I don't know. I don't they just they yeah. Yeah. I don't need to comment on it. And yet I already did and I probably will continue to. Ooh, I did make a sale this week too. That's exciting. Um, and I just shipped it out today. But yeah, there was this video that I posted a couple months ago of me drawing like a small one like this, like beginning to end in one sitting. Recorded it and edited it, and it was like a quiet video. And then I was like, "You can buy this if you want," and then someone did, and I was so happy. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Well, maybe we can work on it together or something. I don't care what I'll at this time in my life, I'll do anything. I will hold the mic. I'll be what do they call those guys? Boom boys or something silly like that. I'll do one of those. I'm completely fine with that. I think later on I'll probably have some more ideas, but right now just like the allure of being involved in like a big project like that is so exciting. Or a video game. That's my other thing that I would love to do. And I feel like I don't play a ton of video games, but I love them as a concept. Oh, my light just flickered. That was weird. Because it's like every art form comes together to like do one project, you know? Video games and movies, really. But so there's like, you know, the visual arts and the graphics, um, or and then there's like you like direct it. There's a story, there's a plot you follow, you know? And so there's like the writing element in it, and of course there's music. Um, and then there's acting or voice acting or something like that. And then there's, you know, the direction and the editing and those final pieces. It's just so cool. Those video games and movies are like, I don't know, I think they're the highest expression of art. The highest form art can take because it like they join together all the different types, and I that's how I feel about it right now. So flesh and plant. I kind of like that. Shoe bills are cool. Okay. They're scary. I saw this video of one kind of like chirping, but he sounded like he was clicking, and I don't know. I've been taking them seriously ever since. Yeah. Oh my god, yes. Yes, yes, yes. A video game, a movie, an album, a music video. All of those things I would love to do. What a dream. Cause like I have this like really, I don't know, burning energy inside me that just like wants to do music so bad. And everyone I kind of meet and like talk about it, like I talk to them about normal things for a while, and then after like a couple days of knowing them, I'm like, so what do you think about starting a band with me? And they're all like, oh, that's really cool. Like you would be great in a band, like just gently saying no thank you, but like you like go for it, you know, like in a really nice way. And I'm like, I can't keep going through this. Like, I need someone to say yes to me so bad. So yeah, the shoe bills, maybe that can be the sound of the shoe bills can be featured in our music. That's actually what I've been okay, not to get crazy. I'm gonna get crazy. For the last couple of years, I've been taking voice recordings or voice memos of different like situations that I've been in to put on a future concept album. Concept TBA, album TBA. But I have all these recordings of like, you know, like people talking in the gas station or like people talking on the train or like when I was living in Japan, it was like all the time. Like I was at the pharmacy and I was like, oh my God, this is an instrumental, like elevator music version of Carpenters. I have to record this, like stuff like that. So I've got this kind of crazy large archive of just random things like frogs at the zoo and little kids at the table just next to me at the restaurant. Like, I don't know. I just like, I don't know, I'm, like, going around my day, and I'm like, "This is gonna be so significant when I make this album that may or may not ever come to be." But, I'm gonna keep acting like it is because I think that's the only way you can, um, you can be if you actually are serious about making stuff like that, so wow, these people are speaking a language I don't understand, it's fascinating. No, I studied Japanese 3 years before I moved to Japan, so I was okay. Sometimes I wasn't though, but sometimes I would. Like, there was this one, gas station attendant that was, like, really jolly, and he had a really distinctive voice, and the sounds of, like, the store were just so interesting. And like my friend, she's Spanish, and she speaks super good Japanese, and but she has a Spanish accent, which is like really cool to hear as just like a witness, someone with a one foreign language accent speaking in another foreign language, foreign to me. Super, it's just super cool. So I have a few like conversations recorded with her and stuff. It's called field recording, huh? I guess that makes sense. You're in the field. You are recording. It just feels so, like, close to life, like, pure and authentic. And I would do, like, conversations with, like, my grandma sometimes. I think I've got 1 or 2 with my grandparents each before they passed away, so that's really precious to me. I mean, it's not, like, the only thing we have, but, I don't know, it's just special. I started doing that, like, in high school. I would take, like, kinda like audio journal entries and sort of just kinda went from there, so it's fun, I don't know, I'm a hoarder though, like, everything feels super significant to me, so I keep everything, and, my life is so cluttered, but it's fine. Oh my god! I haven't even talked about, like, the last best movie I saw. I mean, I mentioned Annie Hall, but that was, um that was the second last best movie I saw because I saw it before this other one, which is called Memoir of a Snail. Has anyone seen that? Um, please say yes. Memoir of a Snail is what it's called. It's an Australian movie. It's claymation. Um, it is so sad, so good, but it's so beautiful. It's like um same sentiment, I think, as like Marcel the Shell, which she's on. Dude, I love Marcel the Shell. Mary and Max. Let's see. As a wallpaper, um, I don't really know how to do that. I would be interested in that. Like, honestly, the only things I'm not interested in doing when it comes to like allowing people to take up my art and buy it and whatever. I don't want to create more waste for the planet. So I'm not gonna do um phone cases and like Redbubble and junk like that. I don't know. I'm just that doesn't really but like prints, I'm cool with prints and I obviously have originals, but something digital like that, I guess that makes sense and could be cool. I guess I have to look into that because I don't really know what that would entail for me. But thank you for your feedback. I will take a mental note. Actually, wait, I'll take a regular note. Okay. But yeah, emotional roller coaster. Yeah. Oh my God. Memoir of a Snake. I don't know if you guys like animated movies, like different types of animation. Um, like I love claymation. I don't know, it's just it's so tactile and cool, and, like, one of the things I loved about this movie was that, they would do, like, close-ups on certain parts of, just, like, certain scenes, like, they would do, like, a close-up of maybe, like, a jewelry box or someone's hand, and you could see the fingerprints of the people who made the characters and stuff, like, in the clay on the characters, like, they didn't, like, overly smooth it out, and that is just, like, so endearing to me, and I don't know, it's easy for me to get emotional with stuff like this, but, it's so cool, and the story was, like, so surprising. I went in kind of blind, like, I had a recommendation of it from a film bro friend, so but that was from, like, over a year ago, and, I just kind of, like, was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll get to it." And I liked it so much more than I was expecting to. I knew I was gonna like it a little bit just because of the claymation, but, like, the storyline and the plot was, like, heartbreakingly beautiful, and, like, I don't know, it was really good, so, yeah, go ahead and add that to your watch list. Oh, if you guys have Letterboxd, maybe we should connect on Letterboxd too, because 'cause I'm on there a lot, so yeah, okay. Art stealers. I do worry about that for sure. Um, not it doesn't occupy a ton of my brain space, but I know people are eager to make money, and so I think I just have to be careful. But yeah, you're right, there is not enough claymation. There just isn't. It's so cool. It's just so cool. I really want to like just be involved in that part of the world, you know? It's like it seems like the oh my god, like a forbidden garden, you know? When I think about, like, people who make movies and people who make music and stuff like that, it just, like I feel like a little kid, like, kind of, like, peeking through gaps in a wall at, like, people that are fancier and, like, more distinguished than me, and I'm like, "How do I get in there? Like, how do I do this?" Have that feeling all the time. And I would love to just, like, be able I'm sure I can just walk through the door, but I don't know if it's that simple, and I don't know. That's how it feels like. You like the green and blue? Thank you. I was just gonna add a little bit more of this, deeper blue because I feel like the blue sitting on top of the green is kind of it's almost as bright as I want it to be, but it could really use some help, so If I was a horror artist, oh my god, that is such a good idea. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. Combine weird guy with this, but pretend this is scary and not just colorful. And then we'll add a dark filter and a scary storyline. Okay, I have how many months till October? July, August, September. Okay, I've got like 3 months until October. Can I completely turn into a horror artist by that time? Do you think we can do it? Oh my god, that would be fun. Cause do you everyone knows scary stories to tell in the dark, right? That was a pivotal book for me because of how gross and terrifying those illustrations were, and I know that's like a very, that's a very basic observation. However, I would just stare at it. I would stare at it until I was scared, and then I would be like, "Okay, that's enough," and I just, like, push it away. But that would be so cool. Oh my god. Thank you for that idea. I love that idea. I think I'm gonna have to, like, see that through. Because one thing I feel like I do as an artist is, like, I'm kind of all over the map, but, like, there's something that connects each, vibe, I guess. There's strings that attach to each other, but they're like islands, it's like an island chain. It's like, yes, we're nearby, and yes, we have maybe the same certain aspects, and maybe we get hit with the same rainstorms or whatever, but like independent islands, That's kind of how I feel about my art sometimes. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, I need more of this like lighter color, I think. I really like this like tendony thing that's happening. It's gross. I like it. But like some of these parts, like with the ink that's super saturated, the pencil does not like to stick on it. So um might not be able to get as opaque as I'd like. The pink looks like intestines. Oh my god. Oh wait, can I show you something else I made this week? I have it right here. I actually made this yesterday on my break from work. But it's like a heart. Can you see it? And then there's like this is sort of like a stomach shape. I kind of went do I have a regular pencil? Yeah. I kind of went and colored it in so that you couldn't quite see, but here. But like it's like a stomach, so there's like butterflies in the stomach and there's like somebody tell me what these are called. The aorta and ventricle. Ventricular ventricle. That is definitely what it's called. And then it was gonna like turn into guts kind of. But then I was like, I kind of just want it to be like this. So I started erasing it so I could cut it. Um, but I don't know. I just kind of set it aside for now because I got busy. But yeah, this is what I did on my 30-minute lunch break yesterday. I did not eat lunch. Anyways, body horror and guts and stuff. How wonderful it is that we've come full circle here. Now I'm like really excited to do spooky stuff. I think I'll be able to like, I don't know, connect with a lot more people because some people they just love like gory, spooky horror art, and that's kind of their thing. It's like they're like the same people who like um the spooky horror movies, the classic ones and the slashers and whatever. But like and I like those too, but I like other stuff. But then I can like connect with them. Yeah. This is just like all part of my journey on being like a well-rounded artist. I gotta do a little bit of everything. Kinda like this, though. I want these parts to be even deeper, though. So I'm gonna take a second, dig through my colored pencils. It's going to get noisy. Um, just hang on for a minute. Yes, I found it. I found it. I found it so fast. Okay. Unfortunately, it's the exact same color. Oh my god. Okay. I guess I need to go deeper. But I don't I want to keep like the pink tones. So I don't know what I'll do. Maybe purple? I don't know. Let's try it. Not too much. Ooh, wait. Ultramarine would be cool. Um, I have to try something. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Just in a few spots. Because this is kind of, I think, the only thing that's going to be dark enough that's not going to like mute the colors. Eldritch Horror Garfield drawings. No, I actually haven't seen those. Am I missing out? I do love Garfield. He hates Mondays, you guys. It's not Monday. I was almost like, oh my god, it's Monday. It's not Monday. It's not Monday. Okay, but who remembers the Garfield live action movie with I don't remember his name. Um McDreamy and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Do we remember? Or was that a fever dream? He also went to Buckingham Palace in the second one. Was that the right thing to do? I don't know anymore. I'm gonna pause for a second. That's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait. Garfield, Eldritch Horror. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. That'll give me something to do while I'm eating dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner though. Okay, this is I think this purple was a right choice. That's so funny. I'm like, oh jeez. Oh my god, yes. Come through, Nate. Oh my god. Yes. I would watch it when I was really young. I think my grandma had it on DVD. And I think I don't really remember a lot about it. I think there was a maze out in the front of the royal palace. I think Garfield ate some lasagna, but I don't remember anything else. Odie was a real dog, which was messed up because he didn't look like a thing like regular Odie does, which is why. Anyways, I have artistic differences with with that particular aspect of the movie. Jennifer Love Hewitt, brilliantly casted. I literally haven't seen this movie since 2009, but I have all these opinions. Isn't that cool? But I can't remember that actor's name who plays John. Um, I want to say Derek Shepherd, but that's just his name in Grey's Anatomy. Um, Pilot Red Sun. He teaches all these animals to make lasagna. Oh my god, I need to revisit that. Also, do you think this dark spot is incorrect? I think if we add more blue, we might get some perspective with that. Um, cool. I don't know Pilot Red Sun, and I'm gonna put it in my search bar right now. Oh, cool. Oh, a web animator. Cool. Okay. You know what? It's going on the sticky. I'll follow up with that, and then I'll have something to talk about next time too. Cool. No, I hadn't ever heard of that before. Honestly, like I'm not utilizing YouTube as much as I could be. You know, like I get it's just like a very overwhelming universe to me. And so I think I start scratching a surface and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Like it just feels a little bit overwhelming, which is completely ridiculous. But yeah, all of this to say there's a lot of really cool things I have yet to discover that are pretty much only on YouTube or predominantly on YouTube anyways. Honestly, my screen time, not to brag, but my screen time has been going down a lot lately. So go ahead and give me my award. I would love that. Just kidding. He's very inspiring. But he has him called Garfield. Or is it Garfield? Or is it Garfield on purpose? Um Either way, I'll find it and we'll check it out. Yeah, this sticky note will be, oh my god, these will be my talking points for next time. Okay, but we already figured out what band lab was. Band lab is band camp. And my task with Bandcamp is that I have to log back in because I got signed out like a really long time ago and could never figure out how to get back in. So that's my first thing on the agenda. Yeah, it's going to be wild. What if I don't really like what I'm doing right now. Not going to lie. We're kind of in um crisis response mode with this particular part. Um yeah, okay. All right. Whatever. It just doesn't like go with anything else. So I think I'm just gonna pause with that and add some more of these white lines that I like. Don't read into that statement, by the way. Garfield. Okay. We'll go on a Garfield trip. How about that? I do like I like Garfield. When I was little, one of my dreams was do like a cartoon in the paper, you know? Like just have my own cartoon in the paper. Um, and I didn't really do anything to like work on that dream, but I still think it would be cool. I don't have I say this right now, but then I have all these ideas. I'm like, I don't have enough ideas of what I would do, but I think I actually do. For example, today at the post office, I was mailing a package and the lady in front of me was talking, well, to the man behind the counter. And then all of a sudden she's like looks at her phone and she's like, excuse me, would it be rude if I took this call? My son just got hit on the head with a baseball." And he goes, "Oh, no. Of course, go ahead and take that call." And then she's like, "Thank you." And then she took it was like the most polite interaction I've seen in like a decade. And I was like, holy shit, like what did I just witness? And then she just kind of like very like calmly excused herself after paying for her postage and she was just like, "Oh, is he conscious?" And I was like, "Oh my god, what is happening right now?" Seemed like he was okay from the way that she carried on the conversation, but like she seemed like a very calm, cool, and collected person. So really anything could have been happening. They could have been like, "Well, it's stuck in his head forever." And she'd probably be like, "Oh my goodness. Well, I'm at the post office and it's really late to talk on the phone." So maybe I should have just like gone home with her and just kind of like started taking notes. But that's what I would just make my cartoons or comic strip on like random encounters because I do have a lot of those. I love Calvin and Hobbes too. I used to make these keychains with the shrinking, it's like a plastic sheet and then you like make it hot and then it shrinks down. But I'd like trace over Calvin and Hobbes comics. And I made one for my sister for Christmas one time because she's like a big Calvin and Hobbes fan. And she like wore it on her like rain jacket for like a really long time. But it was really fun. I love the series when he like makes the snow goons. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the weird snowmen. Such an existential little kid. A cartoon avatar? Yeah. I think that would be cool. I think I need to like spend more time drawing little characters and stuff because I do that a lot, but I don't really spend time refining them. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, I have my little guy that's my icon. What do you call that? The photo that represents who you are. Um Profile pic or something. I don't know. I have my little guy that's I showed it on the last stream too if you remember, but yeah, that's just like a self-portrait, me with my red scarf, and boots, and just like laying down, being completely lost. That's how it feels. But I think that'd be fun. I don't know. I gotta like branch out though, because it's so easy for me to just kind of get in a groove and ignore all of my other goals. Um, which I think is okay sometimes, but it gets old. Okay, I think I'm about done for today because I'm tired and hungry, and it's been like 3 hours, which is a long time. Um, and my back hurts really bad, so I should probably do some yoga or something. Also, I should eat. I forgot to eat lunch today because I was at the post office. But now I'm like seeing things that I want to like hit a little bit harder. See, like, do you think I should just make this part darker? I think that would add a lot of contrast to this like webby part, and it would make this stuff fit a little better. So maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try with the blue. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm still kind of like figuring out what works on here, I guess. So feedback is always really appreciated. Um, I don't know, like 4 o'clock works for me because I feel like um in Mountain Standard Time, I think a lot of people are east of me. Some people are west of me, but a lot of people are east of me, so I feel like it works better with their schedules. Plus, um I don't have to work today, so it's like totally doable. But yeah, if anyone ever has feedback for me in that way, I might not be able to do something about all of it, but I'm always interested in hearing. So, okay, where is that? No, let's try the red again. I think maybe with the blue it could create. No, no, no. No, we're not doing that. Okay, this one. I don't know if I like it more or less. Also, I cannot for the life of me like keep this centered that and I even put tape down so that I would remember, but I'm straight up ignoring it. I think next week I am going to have a little bit of a better setup too, so improvements will be made. Okay, wow. So, it's been 3 hours. I don't know which way is up and which way is down. I think I'm going to call it because I need to take a break like kind of bad. And I think everyone else has like a life. So, if you've been here for a while, I appreciate that. It's been fun. I'll see you next week. I think I don't know what day though. So TBA, probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'm guessing. So yeah, I'll see you Wednesday or Thursday evening. For me. Now I'm like wrapping up, but my brain's like, wait, just a second. Cool. Okay. I'll post a picture of this too. Okay, cool. And eventually this will be on my website if you really like it. I like the lines. It looks like guts though. So that's fun. Okay. Time to go. Okay, thank you for watching a little bit or a long time or whatever. Yeah, appreciate it. I will see you guys later. Thank you. Good night.